All right, so now let's get into how to apply for Accessoride on the computer. It's the easiest, most convenient way rather than waiting for Accessoride to mail you the application form, which can take up to 2 weeks. Then you have to handwritten it, mail it out. So let's bring this out. Very simple, very short, very easy. Okay, so the first thing you do is you go on Google, you type in Accessoride application, and then you scroll down and you click this link right here. And then it's going to show you all this stuff. It doesn't have a link here, so just avoid it. And then you're going to click Accessoride Paratransit, scroll down, and then click the inquiry form for applying for Accessoride. And then this is the start of the application. These are the basic steps. So language preference, welcome, previous application eligibility, criteria, so on and so forth. So they have different languages. I only speak English, so let's click English, translate. And then I'm gonna scroll down and click next. And then it's just telling you the contact number. And basically this is the first step to getting an assessment, which I will explain later. First, let's do the hard part. Okay, have I ever applied before, or is this my first application? So I'm gonna put no, I have never applied before. This is just explaining basically the steps that's going to happen moving forward. So with the Accessoride, the first thing you do is you fill out this form. They receive it on their end. You will get a letter within 10 to 12 business days. So they say, let's give it 3 weeks because they move very slow. And then from there, they're going to ask you to come in for an assessment. And the assessment, this is the tricky part because the Accessoride does like to be slick. They'll have you come in to see if you can walk up about 6 steps, right? So what we suggest at my job, I'm a rec therapist or recreation director, whatever you want to call it, that I do help with the Accessoride applications if the front desk is busy. And their goal is to not get you Accessoride, right? So you have to prove to them listen, hey, I cannot get on public transportation, or if I do, it's very hard for me to walk up the steps, standing, waiting for the train, the bus, so on and so forth. So with that being said, whether you are someone who just has knee problems or back problems, doesn't matter your age, it's best to always go with a cane or a walker. So that way they can see okay, maybe you do need some extra help, and they will try to still ask you to walk up those steps, but you can just say, I can do it. Or you walk in literally struggling. Sometimes you have to play the system to get what you want. And then from there, you receive a response back. But let's continue with the application and you'll see from there. Okay, so this is just explaining everything I just said. I'm acknowledging yes, I'm willing to come in for an in-person appointment once they provide me with an assessment date. If I were to click I'm not ready, I'm not gonna get an appointment no time soon. So let's just click this. I don't need anyone to help me. Blah, blah, blah. I understand that they have to do so yes, I understand that they have to do an assessment. This is when they send you a letter saying, hey, we received your application. We need you to come in and see if you can walk up these 6 steps. Because if you can't, you're not getting it. This is all it's saying. Okay, so I filled out all the information. I use my job's address. I'm opting in for text messages. Very convenient. I will explain later. Emergency contact. So let me fill this in. And yes, I did put Beyonce Carter. Okay, so next. All right. Do I require any assistance? Always click yes. It's so important because remember what I said, Accessoride will not, you will not get approved unless you can show them that you cannot walk. So let's put, I have a walker. No, actually no, because a lot of people can get that. It's kind of hard to get. With insurance or without insurance. So I am going to put a supported cane because you can always get a little cheap cane or you can borrow it from somebody. I don't need a PCA and an aid. Regular print, English, next. And then just reviewing everything that we just did together. And then I click submit and that's it. So it seems very easy because it is. But like I said, Accessoride is very sneaky with their stuff. So you have to lie your application. When you get there, you gotta lie. And you're guaranteed to get it. Now with Accessoride, once you do the assessment, you're coming in, you act like you can't walk, you're really struggling, or you really can't walk. You're coming in with a cane. You can even borrow a cane from somebody. You don't need to buy it. They won't ask you to go up the steps. Sometimes they will, sometimes they won't. You can be I cannot walk up those steps. Or you just show them look how I stand, they'll be all right, whatever. In the application though, it just say during the assessment that they need medical records and documents. They're gonna look through that. They're not doing that. Trust me, it's not that serious. They're not doing that. After that, when your assessment is complete, they will notify you within a month. I know it takes forever. However, what people don't know is a few days after your appointment, all you have to do is call the hotline number and say, hey, I did an assessment. Did I get approved? With the eligibility department, they'll tell you yes. Once you get approved, they're going to send you it's a photo ID that they take at the assessment with your ID number, and you use that every time you get an Accessoride. But you don't need that. So once you find out you get approved, you're like, hey, can you give me my numbers, my ID number? Once you get the ID number, you can schedule your rides, and you're paying $290 for your ride there and back. You do have a free PTA that can come with you. The guest has to pay. Sometimes Accessoride, the thing is, they're so busy they forget to collect the money, which is even better. I don't know how they override that. But yeah, that's as simple as it is. You go to your appointment, you don't walk up those steps, or they try to make you go in you're struggling, and there's no age. It has nothing to do with your medical records, your insurance. You just go in there and hey, I just need some help, and the help is there. I wish more people took advantage of Accessoride. So, I mean, they are late and things like that, but they do have cab service. So if you do not have a wheelchair, you can request a cab, which is nice. You don't have to get into their private vans where sometimes they are making stops and picking up other people. So if you're someone who does have a walker or a cane, you can take the cabs, which is so much more convenient. Feels like you're in a luxurious limousine or cab service or Uber, whatever you prefer. But that is how you do Accessoride. So spread the word. Thank you.